Hello, I'm Heather Dawson. Well, it's a pleasure bringing you the best of California every week on our show. So let's start off with a quick look at the best headlines throughout the state. Los Angeles. According to the experts, it pays to live in LA and not just for celebrities. Forbes ranked Los Angeles number 7 in its list of the world's best paid cities. Sacramento, California is a state proud of its diversity, so it should come as no surprise that October has been named Filipino American History Month. California is home to over half of the Filipino population in the U.S. San Diego, Legoland was the big winner this week, taking home the honor of Best Children's Park in Amusement Today magazine's Golden Ticket Awards. The Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk also won recognition for Best Seaside Park. Fresno, while just about every other sector of the economy seems to be hit hard by the recession, one industry is booming: the bicycle business. Bike sales are seeing record highs despite the downturn in the economy. San Francisco, good news for the citizens of the Bay Area. A recent list released by Forbes ranked San Francisco as one of the 10 happiest cities in the world, the only U.S. city to make the list. Orange County, it turns out there is such a thing as a free lunch. As part of a pilot program for the USDA, all the students in the Santa Ana Unified School District will receive a free breakfast and lunch for the remainder of the school year. Now, the program hopes to improve nutrition among needy students. Coachella Valley healthcare is on everyone's minds these days, including the group Desert Women for Equality, who held a free mammogram screening for uninsured Coachella Valley women this week. Now, the group has screened over 1,500 women so far in various cities throughout the Coachella Valley.
Well, the Ontario Mills is glowing pink as breast cancer survivors, family members, and members of the community have gathered together to raise money for Susan G. Komen and breast cancer awareness.
We're so excited. We are supporting Susan G. Komen, and we have over 300 to 400 walkers today that showed up, and it's a community event. We're supporting the great cause of Susan G. Komen. We also have representation from our local Inland Empire chapter, and their walk is actually on October 8th, so we're supporting them through the walk. And then we also have, after the walk twice around our property, we're going to spill into our newest edition called Fashion Alley, and there's going to be face painting, balloon making, cotton candy, a DJ, and all kind of treats for everyone.
Walkers walked about 2 miles around the continuously expanding mall, taking each step at their own pace while celebrating survivors and those currently fighting the disease.
Susan G. Komen is an amazing organization. They believe in support for women of all ages, getting us information, just trying to find a way for a cure. Now with this event today, what was so wonderful about it is it was an awareness walk. It's a stretch. It's letting everybody know you are not alone. We are here supporting each other, and you're seeing friends, family, co-workers, and it's just really inspirational.
From, very little babies to very old people in wheelchairs I even saw, they come and they all support. They either know someone or they are the person, they are the survivor. So it's just wonderful how they all could come out and we could all be together and support one another.
At the walk, one breast cancer survivor passed along a special necklace to a newly diagnosed patient as a part of a beautiful tradition among some fighters of the disease.
For me, after I first got diagnosed, the first event I went to after my surgery, what happened was I was sitting down at a bench because I was really, really tired, and I was noticing this lady across from me, and her necklace was beautiful. And at that time, I hadn't really started collecting breast cancer awareness things, and I said, "That's really beautiful. Where did you get that from?" And she took it off and gave it to me, and she said, "I want you to know you are not alone. There are so many people here to help you fight through this, and we are always here backing you."
The necklace I received, it was given to me by the owner of Johnny Rockets, And when she was first diagnosed, a lady gave it to her and told her to pass it on to someone else later. So they've asked me to come back next year, and then I'll pass it on to someone.
All proceeds from the event go to the Research and Fight Against Breast Cancer as a partnership between the Ontario Mills and Susan G. Komen.
So on our national level, Simon is actually one of our national sponsors, and Ontario is one of the local Simon malls that, as far as the Inland Empire affiliate, they've helped us so much for all, I think for the 3 years I've been here, has been a wonderful partnership.
Throughout the year, we sell a gift card, a Susan G. Komen gift card, and $1 of each of the proceeds goes to Susan G. Komen. But everything from our event and our discount cards go directly to Susan G. Komen to support them.
The reason these are so important, especially for walks celebrate a survivor's, their journey. At the end of such a journey, you would like to have something that celebrates your completion of something it's a terrible disease, and it's very hard to get through. Whether you're a stage 0 or metastatic breast cancer patient, you are a survivor. And so these events mean so much because it gives survivors to meet with each other, because sometimes you get like the feeling of some isolation. So when we can all come together and just celebrate life itself, and even celebrate the ones that have passed for the co-survivors and the families, it's just a great event, and people get so inspired for it.
To volunteer, donate, or learn more information about the next walk, visit KomenIE.org or www.simon.com, and don't forget to follow them on social media. Thanks for watching this episode of California Life. I'm Madison Perry, and we'll see you next time.
I'm Audra Stafford here at the Disney Cruise Line rehearsal facility in Toronto to get a sneak peek at their brand new musical adaptation of Beauty and the Beast. And coming up on California Life, we're going to hear more from the stars of the show. It is nowhere near the ocean or Mickey Mouse, but tucked inside that red and white Canadian Broadcasting Corporation building is a rehearsal studio where all the performers for Disney Cruise Line go to learn the ropes before hitting the high seas. Right now, they're hard at work, putting a fresh twist on a tale as old as time. For the Disney Dreams' brand new stage adaptation of Beauty and the Beast, based on the live-action film.
Bonjour, bonjour. There goes the baker with his tray, like full waves, the same old bread and rolls too slow.
We all saw the concept for that film and thought, oh yeah, absolutely. Let's use that as some inspiration to breathe some new life into this.
There she goes, that girl is strange, no question.
That inspiration is reflected in everything from the costumes to the sets to Aaron Ryan's stunning projection design.
It is very daunting. We don't want it to feel like these actors are acting in front of these giant video screens. We want it to really feel like an immersive, beautiful, stylized world.
Oh, isn't this amazing?
A world where the enchanted objects truly are enchanting. To get to see these characters come to life in this new, refreshed way is very cool, because I can imagine that when they're all finished, they're going to look just like the ones in the new movie version.
If the master finds out you violated his orders and fed her, he will blame me.
It's been really interesting to try to figure out what the vocabulary of these puppets are going to be, right? Because we can't have Lumiere just floating without having to be able to bound or swing off of something else, just like in the movie. So you'll see Lumiere resting on Jeffrey's leg. He swings around all of the poles. It's really neat.
This tale has been told in 2 hit movies, on Broadway and on tour.
As the sun will rise.
These songs have been running through all of our heads for years and years and years. It's just a total joy to put it all together and to get a chance to reinvent some things and to play with Disney characters we know and love.
Finding you can change, learning you were wrong.
And certain as the sun, this too will be a hit when it premieres on The Dream in November.
It feels like the show is starting to explode out of the rehearsal room walls, and I cannot wait to get it on the ship and see all the pieces come together.
So
Toronto, I'm Audra Stafford for California Life.
Hi, Dawn.
Hi.
Thank
Thank you for this.
Oh, you're welcome. I
Does it
thought it'd make you
like
feel right at home.
I do. I feel like I'm right at home.
Everybody always thought, who do you like? Are you a Ginger man or are you a Marianne man?
Isn't
Did
that
you ever
funny?
get that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I get it. I get it because the T-shirts are out there. The ultimate dilemma. Why you feel you had to make a choice? I guess it would either be the sexy girl or the girl next door. She'd have
Right.
been your best friend if you were a girl. She'd have been your first date. She might have been your bride. And that's what most men say to me. I'm married to Marianne. We never said Professor or Gilligan. We didn't bring that up.
Oh, that's true. That's true. And speaking of the professor, I think a lot of people would have liked to have seen a little hook up there.
He was so handsome, and he had the best sense of humor of everybody there.
He
even
did.
More than Jim Backus. Yeah, he really was funny and very, very kind. We used to laugh and say if we didn't have husbands and wives, we might have had our own island somewhere.
You were actually discovered the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, working at it.
Somebody said, I've had a crush on her. I still have a crush on her.
I know, isn't that something? And you can't describe why. I guess you're that 14-year-old boy, and you're watching the first girl in short shorts.
Yeah.
You're watching this fantasy because everybody's on an island.
Little-
It isn't suggestive.
No
It
belly
isn't-
button? Could you show
No,
your-
couldn't show my belly button. Tina couldn't show her cleavage. It's all that stuff.
I want an autographed copy.
It's a guide to life. What would Marianne do?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and you're raising a daughter. Everybody's in their rooms doing the little things you don't know necessarily
Yeah.
what they're doing. It's a different world, and it's frightening. There are some values here.
Yeah.
And I think we're in need. Amazon.com, DawnWells.com, and I will autograph it for you. And I'm on my next book, which is cooking.
Yay. I can't wait. Will you come back and make us something in the kitchen over here?
I promise if you'll ask me.
I will. I will. Thank you so much.
You're so adorable.
Nobody does glitz, glamour, and generosity quite like the people behind the Golden Globes.
If you want to have a party and you want to give away $2 million, Lady Gaga's going to come to the party. I'm going to come to the party. Jake's coming to the party. Brian's coming to me. We're going to come to the party because these people put their money where their mouth is.
These people are the 70-year-old Hollywood Foreign Press Association members. On their behalf, a star-studded group of presenters humbly honored more than 70 organizations.
Giving away some money. Like that. Now, I am a product of the LA Unified School District, so bear with me.
As this year's presenters point out, supporting these groups is personal.
Tonight, I get to help recognize the next generation of musicians and actors who have set their sights on the entertainment industry.
But what if you're 16 years old and you're from an underprivileged family in Watts and you're interested in becoming a director? Or you might be a senior who spent his whole life working at some other profession that you didn't particularly love and whose dream was always to learn film editing. Or maybe you were grown up in a village in Burkina Faso and your biggest wish is to study in the United States. Any of those things, all of those things are not a problem for Los Angeles City College.
As someone who has greatly been involved with women's rights, I am also very happy that I get to present a grant to Global Girl Media. Talk about self-expression. Young women from underprivileged communities not only learn how to report the daily issues of the news, but they have taken journalism to a new level with features, documentaries, and web series on issues that affect young girls all over the world.
For more on the event at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel and to see a list of honorees, you can visit their website at hfpa.org.
Up and down the San Diego coast, a playground for one of the fastest growing sports in this region, a sport that's catching on.
It is addictive. I mean, just that fun, the camaraderie, having friends and pushing each other to surf.
More than ever, surfing is becoming a favorite pastime in San Diego. Surfers dot the liquid landscape from the South Bay to the North County. For at least one native San Diego surfer, the growing hobby for thousands of locals makes for good business, even in a down economy.
Low overhead when we began. We sanded, shaped, and glassed all under one roof. So kept our overhead down and just did what we had to do to make ends meet. Started out just basically as a friend-based company and slow growth. enabled us to get people ordering boards, wanting different sizes, different shapes.
Chris Doherty is the founder of Quiver Boardworks in Oceanside. Doherty's homegrown North County roots give him a keen understanding of what surfers of all levels want and need.
We have your, beginner Joes that haven't even gotten the water, hardcore surfers that do big airs and big turns. Yeah, everyone's into, progressive surfing, and that's pretty much what we are, is big aerials, deep tubes, and, fat turns.
From the surface, one would think Quiver went into business at the worst of times. 2007, the start of a deep recession, one which claimed the fiscal lives of thousands of small businesses across the state. Less people working means more people in the water, so Doherty tried a different approach to attract business, reducing overhead, designing, shaping, manufacturing boards, all at his facilities in Oceanside. The cost savings allowed him to undercut the competition, so boards started to sell even when times became tough.
After a year and a half, 2 years, it started to, that's when things really came together. We solidified the brand.
He also brought on some of the county's best pros as consultants, progressive surfers like Eric McHenry and Zach Reinhardt, and 13-year-old phenom Keller Moore.
Boards are perfect. They're like my magic sticks. There's a new school era coming in, and it's more of the bigger airs and stuff like that coming into style.
We put a lot of time in the water, so we know it works. So for them to use our ideas and stuff in the board and put our name on it is pretty cool.
Trying out boards, we go down to Cabo, I go to Hawaii, I go to mainland Mexico, surf Puerto Escondido. And it does take a different board for all those different waves, and you really get to feel it, and that's the fun part about surfing, and that's probably the best part about surfing is picking the right board and the right waves.
Hardcore surfers that do big airs and big turns, they're not your average surfers, so they can tell, a board is off by a half a centimeter, whatever, the concave is off, the rocker, this or that. Their input's, vital to us being cutting edge and mastering those fun shapes.
The result is now a young 3-year-old business, now trying to find ways to meet the demand of the economically savvy and performance-driven surfing public.
$1 billion. That's how much teachers spent for school supplies last year. But thanks to a former teacher's crowdfunding platform and a national initiative, help is on the way for many classrooms.
With the help of my students, we created a website, DonorsChoose.org, where public school teachers all across America can create classroom project requests, and donors can choose the projects that they want to support.
And supporting local public schools may be easier than you think.
This year we're putting $1 million into the hands of Sonic fans and guests to vote on public school teacher projects.
Since 2009, the Limeades for Learning initiative has provided more than $8 million to inspire creativity and learning in today's youth.
They want to bring the subject matter to life and show their kids that what they're learning in the classroom is going to have a whole lot of meaning and give them a lot of success beyond the classroom.
To learn more about the voting process, visit limeadesforlearning.com.
We're moving closer to the holiday season, which means indulgent treats will soon be popping up everywhere.
My philosophy is you can really have anything you want as long as you have it in moderation.
Registered dietitian Patricia Bannon says you can indulge without all the calories.
We see tons of baked goods around this time of year. So one of my tips there is that you can replace up to half the sugar in any baked recipe with the 0-calorie sweetener stevia, and you're going to save some of that sugar and calories.
When it comes to substituting ingredients, there's one good rule of thumb to follow.
You don't want to substitute more than half of the sugar in the recipe, and the reason for that is only sugar can provide you with that caramelizing, that browning, and that rising you're looking for in a baked good.
Bannon shares her favorite go-to recipe for pistachio coconut lemon bars with half the sugar in a new ebook called Half Your Cake and Eat It Too. You can download that and get more recipe ideas at intheraw.com.
And that's it for us. If you missed any part of our show, go to our website, CaliforniaLifeHD.com. We'll see you next week.